The UFL Gambling Podcast Week 5 preview, picks, and DFS episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, play their fantasy pick'em for a chance to win 100 times the amount of money you can enter in, UFL action, NBA action, MLB, MMA, NHL, golf, and much, much more. Sign up today at UnderdogFantasy.com. Use that promo code TCESGPN to get 100% deposit match. Plus, we're brought to you by our NFL Draft Bingo card, which, by the way, the NFL Draft Bingo is already kind of going on, but the draft is 3 more days, so hop on over there for your chance to win a $100 SGPN gift card exclusively on the SGPN app, which is free to download in the App Store or Google Play Store. So do that thing, and remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Mike Leach, head football coach at Mississippi State, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Football is a unique American experience. A game described by one turn-of-the-century critic as crude and barbaric, with little chance of survival. But survive it did.
I don't give a damn who you are. It's America, Jack. You know how to play winning high-dose football? I don't get it.
Being played in the United States Football League.
Touchdown! Oh my God, the quarterback is toast.
We sometimes forget that football, being the consummate team sport, is a great deal more successful when you do play as a unit and don't rely on individual talent. Frankly, I'm impressed with the USFL.
America, this league is good for America, and football is a sport that is made for television.
That is football.
I'm like, spring football is going to work in America.
You play to win the game. And now it is time for our USFL report.
Yes, welcome back, folks. Week 5 preview and picks and DFS episode for the United Football League. Sorry, normally we drop an episode Thursday. Obviously, we were covering NFL draft stuff. But we do have the we're not gonna just miss an episode. We don't do that. Well, someone might, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. YouTube.com/@UFL Gambling Pod. You can watch this. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to and anyone out there that's listening to this on the audio side. Get on over there. Whatever way you're listening to this, we're grateful. But if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swiggin, Database Dad, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
That's the way I sound when I'm talking about UFL Jeff. Hashtag UFL Jeff sucks. Keep it going, folks. And shout out to the chat. We're rolling along. I mean, David in the chat saying, guess I'm not going to be productive at work today. Well, yeah. Look, put this on a screen behind. You know what I mean? If you're working from home, you're good. But if you're at the office, you kind of just have this kind of minimize it a little bit. Throw some bullshit spreadsheet up on the main things. Sound like you're crunching numbers. I am joined. We are not joined at the moment by the Bet Detective. There's rumblings that he might join in any second here. But we'll see. I am joined by the host, my other co-host, the host of the Old Fashioned Football Podcast, which you should be subscribed to. He's been crunching regarding the NFL draft. So go check out all that stuff there. Give it up for, they call him J Mark, aka Justin. Mark, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. You made it, and it's 2 hours earlier for you than CJ. So what's CJ doing here? Damas wondering, is he still stuck in a cave? Judge Dredd said he's on an Amtrak somewhere. But yeah, all of a sudden he's popping in. I think I see him in the background.
Yeah, you look. I don't know how it is in Canada time. I've spent a good amount of time in fucking Canada, but I do not remember. I went across Canada when I was like 22, so I was not sober. So I don't remember if there's just major time gaps. But anyway, look, we got him in here. He is the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, and I believe he's got some more shows here in Winnipeg, Canada. Shout out to Robert Martin. I know, he is. I'm not sure if he's in Winnipeg, but get on out and catch the Bet Detective, aka the man in the box, CJ Sullivan, and he's here.
Hey, here we are. No problem. Like I said, the Canadian conversion time comes over. I'm on Celsius minutes, I think, over here. I thought it was
So you're in Winnipeg doing some shows for a couple more nights, right?
We're in Manitoba at Rumors Comedy Club. 2 last night. We had a late added one. Now that's what's kind of got me set back. 2 more tonight, 2 more tomorrow. There was a couple SGPNers coming out to the shows last night.
Hell yeah.
Tweeting. It was great.
See, I you can come clean, by the way, and say that you were at Club Regent Casino that I'm looking at here in Winnipeg. There, gambling venue with slots and dining. I'm sure that either that or was it the McPhillips? J Mark, what do you think it was at? We got three things that I'm seeing here when I Googled casinos in Winnipeg. We have the Shark Club Gaming Center, the Carousel Gaming Lounge, the McPhillips Station Casino, or Club Regent Casino. Personally, I think Club Regent Casino is where the Bet Detective really was. If I had to guess, what are you saying there, J Mark?
Oh, CJ's a shark. I mean, he is a shark. He wakes up every morning and devours people, gets their money with the bets. Not a sharp. He's a shark. So I think he's at the Shark.
Well, the Shark Club Gaming Center is interesting. I see I'm looking at it right now. I see 1,000 slot machines, but the top comment is fucking hilarious. I really enjoy the jambalaya here.
Winnipeg known for its jambalaya, for sure.
Oh wow! Hey, maybe if you're anyone out there in Winnipeg, go out and get some jambalaya there at the Shark Club Gaming Center.
Yeah, we'll talk some Canadian football and some jambalaya together. Come out.
Talk some Blue Bomber football, have some jambalaya. Yep. What's not to love about this planet? Bet Detective. I mean, we got week 5 upon us, and we do have news. We have news. Unfortunately, speaking of sharks, Shark Dog, aka Scooby Wright, who's a friend of the program, he's been on the show, and actually, I was talking to him. We might be able to hook up next week. He told me that that could be a possibility. Right now, he's just a little disappointed and shit. And obviously, he's injured and he's out for the season. And he's basically saying he's calling it quits. This is a guy that played for what I think the 49ers and the Browns in the NFL, played in the AAF, and then the USFL, and now the UFL. And he was and I believe in the offseason he's a firefighter. So bummed about that news, because in my opinion, if you were to say who is the face of the USFL over its first 2 years, I know some people would say like Alex McGo. I think Scooby Wright is kind of the guy that to me is the face of the league. Your thoughts on the injury there, CJ?
Yeah, like you said, it's a shame. He is definitely. I would definitely say the face. Well, Alex McCall, whatever, but. They signed Taco, I know, to replace him, but it's still a shame. Friend of the program, was it for a long tenure? It was nowhere, but like it still seems sudden, even though it's
a bummer. It's a bummer because you want a Shark Dog. His personality is good.
Absolutely, no, he's great for the league. He's exactly what the league needs.
Exactly. J Mark, your thoughts on that situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for him having to kind of cut his dream short because of an injury. And unfortunate for us that like watching the game, because he's fun to watch. Just that high energy flying around the field. He's a lot of fun to watch on the field. So unfortunate all around. But wishing him the best of luck. Hopefully he recovers, and even if he's not playing football, he's happy and healthy.
Yeah, don't worry. When I have a few too many whiskeys and leave the stove on, It's good to know that Shark Dog might be the one, knocking down my front door to save my fucking life. But other news, EJ Perry, turns out that, I did make fun of him for the whitest play of the football season so far when he was rolling out and kind of just, pulled a hammy, it looked like, / tripped on the turf, from his lack of athleticism. Even though he's got a little bit of wheels, turns out maybe he really got injured. He's out for the year. So I don't know. I didn't even follow up if it was the hamstring or not. But is that good news for the Michigan Panthers, CJ? And your thoughts on that injury?
Well, my thoughts on EJ Perry the entire time, and I was predicting regression last week. All you EJ Perry truthers out there. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame. I mean, obviously it's a shame if it is an injury, it shuts him down. And he did bring a running ability, but I thought he was. I thought this will be a good addition by subtraction for the Panthers. It's what they need. They need to open up this offense at any point, at any kind of passing offense. And, so yeah, I'm actually a little I'm not as excited, but intrigued to see what they can do without him. And
yeah, J Mark, your thoughts on EJ Perry's injury?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to see a guy get injured, but he was inconsistent at best in the passing game. His backup comes in and goes 11 for 14. Kind of makes you think, why wasn't that guy on the field? He's a better, more accurate passer. So it's going to be interesting to see what Etling does. Where they brought in Perkins, that's going to be interesting because I think he's better than all of them.
I mean, let's talk about this for a second. Bryce Perkins, who played at Arizona State and Virginia in college, also with the LA Rams. I think he got a start. Didn't he get a start or two?
Yeah.
Yep. What? He was just out there and no one had him? Like, you can't tell me. It's like thinking we were just talking about this while we were waiting for the Bet Detective, and DeAndre Johnson was one of the better quarterbacks in the USFL last year. Where the fuck is he? 2 years ago it was Kyle Sloter. Where the fuck is he? There's a lot of good talent out there. Like Bryce Perkins to me is better than 95% of the quarterbacks in this league. Like if I knew that he was just sitting there, it's like, they signed Bryce Perkins. It's like, wait, what? They say Etling's starting this week, I guess maybe with playbook stuff, but I mean, I would still, if it was me, I would start Bryce Perkins, whether he knows the playbook or not.
I know. That's what we said. We did the same thing with Dorby last year. Here's 4 plays. Run them.
Yes. Yes.
What are we doing here?
He's just sitting out there the whole fucking time we're watching EJ Perry. He's just like, I would love to be a Michigan Panther. No. We have EJ Perry. What? I mean, call me crazy. Now I almost feel like this sign makes him like a legit contender now if they start him down the road. I know he won't get the start here, but based on what I know with Perkins, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. If I think just blindly, I would say he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, just based on me watching him all through his college career and small dosages of the NFL career. Does that is that worthy of grabbing a future on the Michigan Panthers right now? J Mark?
I know you get.
I mean, with their defense, why not? I mean, we were already talking about how the defense is solid enough to win games for them. Now you get a competent quarterback back there that can throw the ball down the field. Why not? And
he can run. That's what I'm saying. Like he's even a better runner than Perry. It's like, what? CJ, any interest in a future on the Panthers?
I mean, they do have a good nucleus, you know what I mean? For sure. And I always have interest in the future. What is the price right now?
I believe it is plus 1,300.
Yeah, I could get down 1,300 for sure. I mean, they have they obviously had the defense and the running, I know you like to compare them to those Rex Ryan Jets teams, and now if you put a little shot in the arm at quarterback, then they could do anything. But I don't know if their ceiling is as high. I'd like to see. I need to see a game.
I think the thing that would be the concerning part would be Mike Nolan to me is probably like, well, Etling's been with us all year. Let's just start him.
Right.
You know, like can we count on the coaching staff to acknowledge that perhaps Bryce Perkins is way better than their current quarterbacks? They have Lewerke on the staff too, or on the roster too. But something to pay attention to. Also, Mateo Durant, the running back for the St. Louis Battlehawks, is out for the year. Man, I feel like you got dinged up last year too.
Oh man.
Something to pay attention to. But yeah, okay. I think that's all. There might have been there was a few other injuries, I think, but that was like line of scrimmage or something like that. But
did he get hurt last week? He had one carry last week.
Might have. Puka Williams got cut by the DC Defenders. That was one. What else, J Mark?
CJ Marble is out this week.
You know what that means for my DFS lineup there, Bet Detective. Yeah, let's go.
Shots across the bow. I know.
All right, let's jump into this. But before we jump into this action, I want to tell you folks out here that the UFL Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, the NBA playoffs are here, and our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats like points, rebounds, assists, and much, much more. Make entries of all basketball or mix and match across sports. That's what's great about it. You could take a UFL. You could take Danny Etling. Mix that with LeBron or whoever. Hockey, you can just whatever you want. Just go across the board. You can win up to 100 times the amount of money you enter, and that's always a ton of fun. And Underdog's available in 30 different states, including California and Texas, and the great country of Canada. So Bet Detective's getting down on that action. You better believe it. So what are you doing, folks? Sign up with the promo code TCE SGPN. Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code TCE SGPN. All right. Saturday. We got two games kicking off at exactly the same time.
Regional coverage.
Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. Got 4 games. There's only 8 teams. We got 4 games. Let's capitalize on these 4 games. Let's play 2 of them exactly at the same fucking time. Birmingham, the Stallions are heading down to Houston, Texas, to the Rice Bowl. They're laying 7.5. The over/under's at 42.5. The Roughnecks are plus 300 on that money line. If you're buying into what Reed Sinnott is doing and Mark Thompson, now the problem here is that Adrian Martinez has been named the starting quarterback. Funny. I'm going to take the Stallions just because I think they're way better than everybody. They almost lost them last week, but a lot of that was because that fucking monsoon, whatever. I'll take the Stallions, but I'll say at some point, this back and forth quarterback shit's going to cost him.
Yeah, well, he does. At least he does. Skip does name the starter and goes with them. You know, but it's week. But it just happens to be week by week, which is very odd.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like your rhythm, though, your rhythm as a player, I would think would be somewhat affected by this.
I'm saying at least he's not doing the every play bullshit. You know, and it's just rotating and that kind of thing.
Yeah, Spurrier ball.
Yeah, exactly. Get some series going like that. So, but at least we got Martinez going in there. I don't know your thoughts in this game, but
well, Flame Wingman says, remember, Houston's the only one of the only teams to ever beat the Stallions twice. Woo.
Okay.
Look, I'm not buying it though. They're gonna win this one for Shark Dog. I'm laying it. I like watching that. So throughout the week, I guess like FS1 just throws up the games from the weekend. So I had it on. I don't know how much of that was Houston or how much of that was. I mean, I'll say Houston's defense was impressive, but Arlington just looked. They just weren't. It's like they didn't practice. It's like they didn't know what the fuck they were running. Skip Holtz's team won't make that mistake. They're gonna know the plays they're running, and I'm gonna lay that number. I also think the over is the play here. CJ, what are you doing here?
I definitely agree. Birmingham's a smash play here. I mean, before last week, Houston was considered the worst team in the league until Arlington did what Arlington did. Congratulations, Houston, on beating Arlington, getting that first win. And Mark Thompson was definitely noticeably a big difference on the field. But that being said, this is Birmingham, who are off not a great performance. Houston maybe kind of a little, I don't want to say letdown spot, but they got their win, they got that off their back, kind of a relief. I think Birmingham just rolls. They're just too good.
Well, and 7.5 is. I understand it's a lot in the spring league, but it's also like the sevens don't hit like they do in college football.
Right.
Or
It's not exactly the key number that it is in the NFL. I'm not worried about 7.5 at all. I think they double digits easily.
What do you think of that total? You like the under? You said.
I didn't say either way. But 42.5. All these games have been hitting over lately, except for this. Of course, Birmingham was in that monsoon last weekend. Houston's defense is good. Martinez, though, I mean, they just can't seem to be stopped. I would lean under. I don't like it either way. I would lean under 42.5, but I like Birmingham. I just don't see Houston putting up much of a fight on offense.
Yeah, I mean, Curtis Johnson, he's proven to us. I think Holtz will make some adjustments. Just having Martinez, I think, is the better quarterback. That their team is firing at a higher level with Martinez, even though Shark Dog will not be available for this or the future. I just think they're going to roll here. J Mark, what are you doing here at the Rice Bowl?
Yeah, I actually kind of went back and forth on this one. May 13th, 2023. Mark Thompson, 78 yards, 3 touchdowns against those Stallions as they beat them 27-20. And so I thought I would maybe take that angle, but it's a different coach team. Curtis Johnson is a terrible coach. And I like the angle of, Scooby was a huge part of this defense in the fact that everybody loved him, right? Those guys loved him. So I think they're going to go play their ass off for him. And so I'm going to take that angle. And then Martinez starting, he's at a different level. I feel like the Stallions, you can fade. They're still going to win games, but you can fade taking them to cover when it's Corral, and you take them to cover when it's Martinez. And so I'm going with the Stallions here.
Any lean on the total? Though. Yeah,
I like the over. I think Birmingham's going to put up a lot of points, and I think the Roughnecks are going to put up some. They're not going to be able to keep up, but they are going to be able to put up some points. Sinnott is looking more comfortable. Mark Thompson is a game changer, so I like the over.
I am with you, buddy. All right, at that same very time, the San Antonio Brahmas. Quentin Darmandy is from San Antonio. He hates Arlington. All right. They're heading to Arlington, Choctaw Stadium. San Antonio's laying 2.5 points. The over/under also at 42.5. Arlington's plus 120 on the money line. The Brahmas are minus 142. Look. Arlington's plus 3,500 to buy in right now on these Renegades. And I know I'm chasing the dragon here a little bit, but why not? I mean, hear me out. They play San Antonio twice in the coming weeks. That right there, San Antonio is the team that is in the playoffs right now. So, I mean, obviously St. Louis seems to be the top team. So you're looking for that 2 seed. Huh. Well, you play first off, St. Louis and DC play each other, which is, your division, but then, and they haven't played at all yet. So, but then you have the fact that you play San Antonio twice. They're getting this done. Give me that money line play, Bob Stoops. It's a tough week of practice. Plus 120 on the money line. I do like the over 42.5 as well. Am I a maniac, CJ?
I mean, stubborn, I would say. Dumb, I would toss that in there without pig-headed. I'd say a lot of things. I'd say maniac. I would throw maniac out there, but
I'm ready for some fucking jambalaya there in Winnipeg. All right.
Yeah, I was just saying. Well, look, last year they snuck in basically on a technicality. Is how they get it in. This year it's going to be tough. with 3 teams to climb there. You need more than one things to happen. And you're right. Schedule softens up for them. They had a tough schedule coming in. And I wanted to play him this week as well, especially fading off the worst performance of the year of doing what they did last week. And I still believe in Perez as much as J-Mark doesn't. But the San Antonio team, we have to eventually give them a little bit of respect for what they are. And now that they have Dormady in there, this is wrong time, wrong place. Get our man Dormady in there, and he's about to take off. San Antonio is more stock I'd like to get involved in. Arlington, I think I'm done with. Last week's performance, you could tell. It seems like they were nervous for, like, that was the game they had to win because they were playing Houston, and they just played super tight. So maybe they'll just be, now that they know it's completely gone, they'll go balls to the walls and just, like, let it loose for you for Dundee. But other than that, yeah, no, that's it. That's burning money.
What if I told you,
all right,
that they're calling for rain all day? Who does that hurt more? Because they both kind of run air raid concepts, but I think,
yeah.
But Anthony McFarland, the former Maryland Terrapin running back and Pittsburgh Steelers, out. I think it hurts San Antonio a little more than it does Arlington. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. That particular game itself, sure, it could be that, but I mean, yeah, I have faith. Absolutely, Thomas. We all have faith in our Stormy Dormady. He came out. I mean, he looked great last week, by the way.
What about the over? I'm still taking the over in the rain.
I like how you play both sides. The rain is going to be a disaster for these air raid offenses.
But get that over.
Yeah, but a lot of
turnovers happen in the rain.
Yeah,
fumbles.
Playing the over on predicted defensive touchdowns. There's one way to go about that.
Might drop a punt like Sean Landeta did in '86.
Yes.
All right. J-Mark. Well, by the way, yeah. So I take it you're on the under then, CJ.
Well, I don't know. I'm going on your weather report here now. Is that accurate?
Well, this is according to Google. I said Arlington, Texas weather, and it said Friday rain all day, Saturday rain all day, Sunday rain with lightning. So it's and tornado watch. Hell yeah! Now we're talking. Let's go.
Well, if rain's a factor, that's not good. But just on paper, I would say I would like the over in this game. I mean, any Arlington game, I'm liking the over. I'm like, their defense is terrible, and Perez is moving the ball when they are moving the ball. I mean, they still did move it last week. They just couldn't score, and they had a terrible turnover, terrible pick.
You got to know the plays. You got to know the plays you're calling.
Yeah, they were just discombobulated, like you said, like they didn't practice. So I think they bounce back. And Dormady is he's the storm you need to go against it. So I like the over in this game despite the weather conditions.
Yes, buy into that. J-Mark, what are you doing here at Choctaw?
Well, so I'm looking at this weather. It's a 50% chance of rain at 6 p.m. And it's a 50% chance of rain of 0.3 of an inch. So I don't think we're talking like monsoon weather. However, wind
biblical rains,
tornado watch, buddy. National Weather Service has issued. Wind. Yeah,
so that's something for sure.
Yeah, the wind might factor into it a little bit more than the rain. I'm taking the Brahmas here. You mentioned Anthony McFarland is out, but Morgan Ellison, he looks good for the Sea Dragons last year. He's on their team, and he didn't get a carry last week. I think they were. Sorry. You're good. No, but I think Morgan Ellison is capable of carrying the load if they need to run the ball, and he's good catching it out of the backfield too. So I'm believing in Quentin Storm and Dormady. I am fading these Renegades. Coach Kovo, a friend of ours, listener who runs that H-Town Pick'em. Big Houston fan. They were talking about the Renegades, and they asked the question on their show: could the 2023 Michigan Panthers beat the Renegades? I said I thought they could. Nobody agreed with Coach K on his show. What do you guys think? You think 2023 Panthers, Michigan Wolverines beat the Renegades?
Oh, Michigan Wolverines. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think they could beat them.
I agree.
Yeah. CJ?
Insulting. That is just Luis Perez hate right there. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Is Harbaugh still coaching? Do they got Connor Stallions studying he'll know the plays better than the goddamn Renegades. They don't even know their plays. All right.
Do you believe they can beat the Battlehawks for crying out loud? Because the Renegades almost did, and they took them down to the wire inside in that damn battle dome.
Yes, I do.
Right. but the answer to that, yes. The answer to that is also yes. Michigan would run through all those teams.
Always fresh, never soggy. Say, I would love to get Belichick to call these UFL games after his draft analysis. He was pretty fucking hilarious yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew this side of Bill? All right. Yeah, I mean, so you're fading Luis Perez. Surprise, surprise. All right, let's jump over to J Mark. Do you have a side on the total?
I'm going to go under. I'm going to say the wind affects the game a little bit, and they both have to run the ball some. So let's take the under.
All right, and then let's jump on over to. There's going to be a lemon party at Aldi Field. Let me do a quick weather check, see if there's any tornadoes going on. Oh, we're all clear. Sunday. High of 86. What in the hell? Coastal flood advisory though. That's for today though. So 86 degrees here. Damn. They've never lost at Aldi Field there. Home of the beer snake. The DC Defenders, CJ Sullivan's DC Defenders are getting 3. They're plus 145 on the money line. Over under at 46.5. This line went up. It's tricky because I did the SGP show. It was at 2. I like that number. I like St. Louis, but 3 is starting to push it. But now I'm still on St. Louis. The Battlecocks get it done. And look, I just don't believe that this DC team is that good. And I know there's a legit home edge here, but this hot weather is only going to help Tony Meatball and AJ McCarron's. So yeah, to me, it's pretty. They're just, I think, a lot better than the DC Defenders. The total, I lean to the under 46.5. Greg Williams will have some stuff to keep them in check a little bit. But the talent will be too much, especially with them getting Ja'Cour Pearson back. TJ, what are you doing here?
This is a game I've been waiting for. I like DC here. DC coming home for a stretch of 3 home games in a row. St. Louis on the road is just not the same team. I like St. Louis. They've been looking great, obviously. I have them too in my power rankings, but their home road splits are completely different. And same with DC. DC at home is a much different team. And Jordan Temple is starting to look decent. I mean, weather it all you want last week. They played Birmingham, tooth and nail last week and lost on the last play of the game. They're starting to get better. Like we said in the beginning of the season, it's going to take a while for them to get going. And coming home is a rivalry as it was. They swept them last year. Taking the 3 points, I like them on the money line. I think they win this game at plus 150. I took DC. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. What's the total? It's like 47 or something like that.
46.5.
Obviously, it'll be a lot of points. But yeah, you look at what St. Louis did on the road, and is it back-to-back home games, or no? They split them up evenly like that. But this will be their toughest road game they've played yet, and they haven't looked good on the road once. So give me DC outright.
Well, and you got Jordan Teamo, who played with the Battlehawks in 2020. Still mad that they decided to cancel the season. He thought, even though the XFL canceled the season, he thought the Battlehawks might still want to play. And they didn't. I guess they had a draft in 2022, but he's still mad about it. He doesn't like these Battlehawk bastards. J Mark, what are you doing here?
Can you imagine how conflicting that would be for me if Tamu was back on the Battlehawks and I want to root for the Battlehawks because they're the closest team, but I don't want to root for Tamu. DC has never lost at home until Sunday when the Battlehawks beat them. I think the Battlehawks looked more complete last week. They've gotten a little bit better each week of looking like, okay, this is the team we thought they could be. And I think Ja'Cour Pearson, he provides a real problem for teams. But even if you slow him down, you still got so many weapons in that offense that they can go with. Mateo Durant is out, but Jacob Saylors has looked awesome in the backfield, so I don't think that affects much. I'm all over the Battlehawks here.
What do you think about that total?
I think I like the over, like a 28-20, so close to it, but I like the over.
All right, there we go. So that is on Sunday. And by the way, that is on. So the two games happening on Saturday are Fox Regional. Sunday is what? They're all on Fox this weekend. Wow. Okay. Then you have the nightcap, or the day, at noon here Pacific. The Panthers, the Michigan Panthers, heading down to the Liberty Bowl. They are honoring Reggie White and Pepper Rogers at this game. So out of the 400 fans that show up, how many will know that Reggie White actually played for the Memphis Showboats back when they had decent uniforms and decent colors? But does that change your handicap at all? Is that knowing that they're honoring the late great Pepper Rogers and Reggie White? Anyway, Memphis is laying 1.5. The over/under's at 40. Michigan's plus 100. I know there's some 105 out there, but I'll take Michigan. I think Etling can pass the ball a little bit better than EJ Perry can. The main thing is, how is Memphis' O-line going to block the Panthers' D-line? I think that'll be, the deciding factor whether the Showboats can win this game or not. I do love the under 40 here, because I don't think both offenses are very good, and we'll see. I mean, and why don't they give like 10? I don't understand why don't they give these tickets away. You thought about that? In like Detroit or Memphis, just invite everybody. You'll get your concessions up. You know what I mean? I'm serious. Like if I own the league, I'd be like, buy one, get 10 free. 10 tickets free. But anyway, I'm gonna take Michigan. What are you doing here, CJ?
We all saw how they run their business, even though they get bullied into finally getting what it takes to get a media credential there, let alone if they're going to give away 10 tickets. But I'm going to go with Memphis to bounce back here. Michigan, that was their first road game last week, and it was not good. They started off the season with 3 in that huge, sitting at home there in that huge place in Michigan. So their 0-1 on the road is their back-to-back road games. I know we talked about how it will be additional subtraction with Perry going down. I still think Memphis is a much more talented team than they've showed out there. And this is a win they can get at home. This went from pick'em to -2. Now it's back down to 1.5 a little bit. I agree with the line movement. I think Memphis gets this win.
How about that total?
The total 40. I'm not afraid to go over on this one, even though this looks like a classic under. Michigan under. We're always looking under with Michigan, but I think with the new quarterback out there passing the ball, and I think Memphis is a nice bounce back spot. I know Michigan has good defense and Memphis has great defense, but 40 is a low enough number in this league.
What's interesting is Michigan. I think the strength of Michigan's defense is their pass defense, which is the Showboats haven't been able to run the ball. That's why I think the under could hit. But
yeah, I know that's I have a feeling. I'm just gonna go on gut feeling. I think Michigan's gonna be open up more, which will open up the flow of the game a little bit more in the tempo.
There we go. J Mark, what are you doing here at the Liberty Bowl?
I'm all over the Panthers, and I think it's a smash spot. I think the wrong team is favored. Case Cookus not on the injury report. He's going to play, but for how long? He's been getting banged up real bad the past couple games. And like you said, how is that offensive line going to block that defensive line? I think Cookus takes a couple hits and ends up, unfortunately, not being able to finish the game, just like last week.
We got a problem. Now we got a problem.
Sorry. Continue.
That was unexpected. I almost jumped. But I don't think Cookus finishes this game, and we've seen when he goes out that offense can't really move the ball. Williams is not a good backup. That's another team where it's like, is DeAndre Johnson just not taking calls? What's going on here? So give me the Panthers. And for the total, I'm staying away from it. But if I had to pick a side, I'm going to take the under. Give me a nice 13-3 defensive battle.
I like it. All right. Well, lock and dog. It is that time. Those are the 4 games. What is the game you're looking forward to watching most? I know CJ said Battlehawks Defenders. I think he's right. I think that is the game that I want to watch most. But so for the lock, to me, the best play on the board is Birmingham -7.5. I just think they're going to put with Martinez. They're a different team. I think they put it on these Roughnecks at the Rice Bowl there. The dog for me is look, there's not much value in taking Michigan +100. So I'll go to the 120 out there. The Arlington Renegades and Bob Stoops remind people that he's still the king of the XFL. And he's going to make a statement and get back to the he's never played in the Freedom Cup, but he's going to try to get to the Freedom Cup here. What are you doing, CJ? Lock and dog.
I'm agreeing with you in the lock with Birmingham -7.5. I think that's my smash play. A week ago would be easily. If last week's games didn't happen, I think this line is almost and might reach 10 or 11 points. I mean, you got the clear best team versus a clear worst team in the league. And Birmingham had a little slip up. Houston looked good in their win. They did improve with Mark Thompson, but still, I think Birmingham just absolutely rolls over Houston at night. And dog, I already announced it. DC, give me them +150 or 145, wherever you're getting it. I think it's gonna be a great game, classic game. Jordan Talmu, right up J Mark's face, and right in AJ McCarron's family, right in their nose picking kids' faces. Give me the DC Defenders to win this game out.
And I like that, and I even like a fuck you J Mark parlay.
Yeah,
of Arlington with YouTube sensation Luis Perez.
Yes, sir. And
Jordan Teamo. Even though I didn't, I took the Battlehawks. I just like a good fuck you parlay at any time. But J Mark, lock and dog.
Yeah, I agree that the Stallions is solid, but I'm going to give a different one out. I am going to. I guess counter your fuck you parlay. I'm going to lock up the Brahmas. I think Stormin Dormady, he unlocked it last week, and he's going to be even better this week. And then for my dog, I'm taking the Panthers. It's the only dog I took, so it's a small dog, but I'll take it.
All right, there you go, little yapper. All right, now we jump over to the DFS portion side of things, where I am gonna fucking dominate. I'm really excited about this roster, and
incoming $18 on his $20 play.
I've already submitted one for the $3 one, but I'm about to submit one for the $20 one after the show.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. Some big time money here. All right. Curious what you guys think of the slate, by the way. You think J Mark was telling me, I think that he's gonna play the player with the lowest amount that he's ever played in UFL DFS, non-defense, that is. Well, for quarterback for me, I thought about going with Luis Perez. Yeah, I will actually. Let me switch back. I was gonna go Adrian Martinez, but the Houston defense has looked all right. Give me Luis Perez, the YouTube sensation, at 8,800. Let's go. CJ, what are you doing here?
Well, I was bouncing. I'm gonna have two different lineups, of course. I got a $3 lineup, possible $12. Who knows? We got our $5 regular. For the sake of the show, I'm gonna go with Jordan Talmo. I've been touting them all episode at 9,600. I think it's the total is at 47 or 46.5, highest points of the slate. I think it's gonna be a back and forth affair. A lot of points in this game. I was debating between him and Stormin Dormady at 9K, but I want to upgrade a little bit just because you want to cash in on Dormady now when he is still Stormady and not Normaldy. And then, but for the sake of this episode, I'll throw Jordan Talmo out there, 9,600.
J Mark.
Last 2 weeks, the $10,000 winners had the same quarterback. He's been the top quarterback the last 2 weeks. I know he goes against a good defensive coordinator in Greg Giga, But give me AJ McCarron. He's been the top scoring quarterback the last 2 weeks, been on that winning lineup, so I can't not go with him.
Wait, he scored more than Martinez 2 weeks ago?
Oh, no, you're right. Martinez scored more.
This sandbagging son of a bitch. He's trying to push his narrative. Push his narrative there. What's up, CJ?
I was going to say, I will say this about AJ, though, and then with Jordan Thompson, unlike Martinez, he is one of the few undoubted QB1s where they're not going to yank him out of there and move him around and put some other guy in there, put Corral in there. I mean, it's just bizarre for a team that's the best team to do that, So you can at least have faith, you're getting the full, barring injury, you're getting the full AJ McCarron experience.
True. This guy trying to talk some shit, trying to sprinkle that.
Those numbers were so good, he got benched.
Running back, top running back. I already alluded to this. Ricky Person Jr. Look, CJ Marable's out. Bo Scarborough's retired. They don't got options. It's Ricky Person Jr. or bust. I know Houston's defense is good, but Birmingham's offense is so good they'll be in scoring positions. So you get in a touchdown, a nice little receive. He catches a few balls out of the backfield. So remember, he had like a big 45-yarder or something a couple weeks ago. Give me Ricky Person Jr. 7,100. J Mark, did you roster him?
Of course. I thought about Mark Thompson, but I needed to save just a little bit more money. So I went with Person.
Let's go. CJ hates him, so I'm assuming he did not roster him. We found CJ's hated players now,
right? Well, but since CJ's out, I had to throw him out there, and play the music. We all play Pearson. You have to. I mean, at 7,100, that's an amazing guy.
Yeah. Derek says, "Man in the box, where the hell was the NFL draft bombs?"
Derek, I do apologize. There will be an episode later today. I could not get the first day bombs. I was traveling to Canada. I got thrown in customs. I had they put the man in a box in a separate box, and it took me a while to get through to here. They weren't buying my story that I was meeting a friend in Winnipeg. Like, who has a friend in Winnipeg? They don't want to pay taxes.
I'm here for the jambalaya.
I'm here for the jambalaya and the fentanyl. Let me through now. Come on.
But
there will be a bombs episode later today.
Receiver wise, I jumped on this Javante Kirkland vodka here because I know he's expensive as fuck, but every time I roster him, he's worth the money. Javante Kirkland. Anyone spend up that $10,500 for this prize piece if I've ever seen one? CJ?
I have him in one of my lineups, and I'm not the lineup I want to give out here. In a lineup that I have like 4K left over because of so much value going on there. But no, he's not my most expensive. I do like. I do like Kirkland. I love Dormady, obviously. There's a couple. Dormady made all his receivers look good last week. By the way, you don't have to spend exactly on if you're looking for flex. I mean, for half price, less than half the price, you can get Justin Smith. Who I know you like him from Norfolk State.
Oh yeah, Spartan.
He had a 7 for 107 line on 8 targets for the season. So, that was pretty amazing. If you want to go value for San Antonio, so I can't. But then maybe scare me off the rain. I want to stick with that. I'm locking in a lot in SDC St. Louis game, and I'll throw you guys a bone with your Battlehawks, even though I think they lose the game. But Darius Shepard, he leads the league in all-purpose yards. It's not even close. His stats right there. So he's always a return threat. He's an amazing return man, and he's in the slot in the game for 8,000. Give me Darius Shepard. He's always going to have his hands on the ball, and unlike even though Akeem Butler are very good number one, but sometimes they can get shut out in these games. Although this game I don't think they will. But give me Darius Shepard 8K, and I think the return yardage will be in play in this wild back and forth affair.
J Mark, top wide receiver.
Yeah, I don't have Javante Kirkland. I do have Jontre Kirkland though.
Oh man. Getting UFL name checked by the historian here.
I got Jonte Kirkland, target machine. he again, this is a guy that was in the $10,000 winner last week. He was in that lineup, and he's one of the most consistent, right? You got some guys that they pop off and then the next game they're a little flat. Kirkland's pretty consistent. We saw that last year too. When he left the game for an injury, their offense really dropped. He's a main part and a focal point of that. So yeah, give me Kirkland.
Alrighty. My second, I mean, obviously great play because you're just copying my fucking roster. But look, Michigan Panthers gonna be able to fire that ball down the field, and Marcus Sims. Wait, Marcus, right? Marcus Sims, right?
If you're wrong, J Mark will correct you. Don't worry.
Yeah. This early morning wake up shit. Marcus Sims. Yeah. He is gonna have a big day. You've seen him bust some big ones already. 6,100 is a bargain price for this Michigan Panther offense. It's gonna light it up. Anyone else got Marcus Sims on the roster?
Lighten it up. I like Sims. I had him last week. I know that, but I do not have him this week though.
All right. Well, who's your second priced wideout?
Well, we'll go to the Dormady collection. Like I said, he's making all these receivers look good, and Marquez Stevenson at 7.1K. You know, he's ascending. You know, in their attack, he's had at least 6 targets in 3 of the first 4 games, and he had 8 looks last week against the Panthers defense. You know, then that was Dormady's first start, so I think it's just going to keep rising up. I like Marquez Stevenson anyway at 7.1K. Like I said, he's a little cheaper than Kirkland. He's going to need a touchdown probably to help him out, but I want any parts of this Dormady offense. Anything I can get anything I can get a taste of.
All right, J Mark, where are you going with your second best wideout?
Yeah, so a guy came back into the league from injury last week, and wanted to see is he going to get going. I mean, we said he was one of the best in the league, and he answered 10 receptions on 10 targets for 70 yards and a touchdown. Ja'Cour Pearson still only priced to 8,200. If he puts another game or two like that, he's going to be in the Jonte Kirkland levels of the 10K. So I'm going to continue to roster him while he's this cheap. Give me Ja'Cour Pearson.
You know, I understand the logic in doing that, but how did he do against, say, Greg Williams? I'm looking at one of the games from a season ago. This one, Seattle did. Oh no, wait, this is what the fuck. But yeah, my point is, I wonder if we were to pull up the stats. And of course, I can't go game by game. But yeah. Anyway, I thought about Rosterman. I thought Greg Williams might have something dialed up. We'll see. Obviously, he's a fucking beast, though, and he's really good. But my third price. When now we get to utilities. John Lovett. You know, I love it when Arlington's run defense is on the field because they're fucking ass. The only problem is AJ Smith sometimes doesn't like to run the ball, but there's no Anthony McFarland. So John Lovett at 6,700, load it up. Let's go. I'm on the over in this game. The winds are crazy. You're not gonna be able to throw the ball 65,000 fucking times. Give it John Lovett. All right, 6,700. Anyone else with John Lovett on the team?
I definitely consider Lovett. He looks great. He's a good value this week, but I went with. I think you have to go with Jacob Sailors for St. Louis. I mean, especially with going out for the year. You said he's out for the year?
Durant's out for the year. Yeah.
And even before that, though, Sailors was becoming the number 1 back there anyway, and he's looked great.
He played really well last week.
103 yards and a touchdown, 24 fantasy points there, or DK points, I should say. But he had the lead back role even before this injury. Now that he has his salary is still staying up. I think this is one of the last times you'll be able to get him at this price range at 7.3K. So with this offense, this game, I want any parts of this game. Jacob Sailors, and he looks good for sure. So I'll give you 6.
There we go. It's a good play. J Mark, what are you doing here? Third highest priced, first utility.
Well, just to your Pearson point, 6 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown when they played DC last. So not your 10 catches, but not a bad stat by any means. I went with Marlon Williams of the Stallions. He's been a little hit and miss, but I think he's one of their more talented receivers. Adrian Martinez likes to sling the ball down the field, and Adrian Martinez's start was when Marlon Williams was targeted the most this year. So, and I kind of had to go cheaper here because I was running out of cash. So Marlon Williams, he's 5,900. Got to get a piece of that Stallions offense.
Well, you got to think with every week too, because he didn't look fully healthy week 1. The further we get into the season, the more healthy he's going to look. It's a decent play. My final guy is a little case of Sal Canilla. All right, 5,700. He got targets last week, even though they weren't running the right plays. They still count as targets. This week they're going to have the plays all together. And I actually think with this much adversity that they're facing, that they're winless, I think he's going to focus on the security blankets even more. Luis Perez, when times are tough, you go to what you trust, what you know. And those receivers isn't what he knows. He knows Sal Canilla at the tight end spot. So 5,700 bargain shopping. TJ, who's your final guy?
We're going bargain bet. I wanted to get some DC receivers. It's this problem with DC receivers is you don't really know who the hell is who's going to step up, who's going to just someone different every time. I mean, you can cook D out there, Harmon one day. I don't know. So here's a nice little, not in this game involved at all. And a team that we showed upon that we said might get blown out. I'm against them in a smasher. I'm going to Houston because I do like teams where they will have to be throwing the ball all day and be back because I think they will be down double digits. And now with
Reed Sinnett.
With Reed Sinnett at quarterbacking, a nice little bargain bin at 4.4 thousand. Cyril Grayson for Houston. He came in there. He's from LSU. Played in the NFL. Played for Tom Brady. And he's on a season. He has 8 catches, 102 yards. But this all came in the last 2 games, and that's with Sinnett at the helm. So I think he's got a little speed out there. I think he's obviously someone to trust to go to. And for a game, I think they're going to have to be throwing pretty much after the first quarter is over with. I think he can pile up a lot of garbage numbers. He's kind of like I don't know. He's one of those not name NFL guys that are in this league, but he has some good years in the league, and he's playing well. So I know it's a tough defense, but like I said, should be a lot of garbage points opportunities. And for 4.4K, I think it's pretty good value. Cyril Grayson.
I like it. The recent trend, I like it. J Mark, what are you doing here?
Yeah, so I had to really go bargain shopping. I had $3,100 left. And when you're looking at the $3,000 guys, there's not a lot there, but the social media are already showing Etling throwing to Cole Hicatini. So I got tight end Cole Hicatini.
The fuck is that?
Sorry.
Hasn't had a lot of stats this year. But we talked about it a little bit pre-show. He did have a random game where he blew up last year and had 2 touchdowns. So I'm calling for that.
Brought me some serious cash. I'm not talking $35, guys. I'm talking serious cold hard cash. I made it think, well, that was not when I finished first place for the thousands, but I think I did win like 600 or 700 or something with Cole Hicatini a year ago. I guess the real question is how successful can they be? I took Sims, little Hicatini Sims, having some success against that Cornell Lake defense.
There you go.
I like it. And for defense, Shark Dog's gone, but I think they're going to play up for him. That number 1 highest priced defense, 5,000 against a Houston offense that I do expect a regression.
Yeah.
Give me the Stallions.
Stallions is definitely worth paying up for 5,000. I think they're a clear-cut number one defense. Right behind it, though, at 4,000, I snuck in Memphis at 4,000 versus Michigan versus your backup quarterback. I don't know who you think is going to come in and light it up. Like I said, Michigan on the road, their second road game, they looked absolutely terrible. And I think Memphis defense is pretty good. But I didn't want to play Birmingham, but I like Memphis as my number 2 right behind.
There you go. J Mark, what are you doing on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I went the opposite side of CJ there. I took the Panthers. I think the defensive line is going to really get after Case Cookus. And like I said, I don't think he finishes the game, and Williams is not good. So predicting some turnovers there. They're 4,300. Give me the Panthers.
Boom. All right, folks, we're going to invite you to play DFS. Just follow us on Twitter at UFL Gambling Pod. Come play for a couple bucks, peanuts, oysters. I don't know. All right. Hop on over there. And look, if you're in Winnipeg, which I know you're in fucking Winnipeg, all right, get your ass out. What's the name of the place, buddy?
Rumors Comedy Club. 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow.
Get on over there and check out the Bet Detective. And remember that we'll be back with a reaction show Monday. We think Monday at least.
If I get through customs, I'm there in studio.
Yeah,
let's do
it. Good luck. But actually getting into Canada, I feel like leaving, you're okay. Getting in is always where it's tricky.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They were not buying what the man in the box was selling. That's for sure.
When I went up there, they gave me shit too. Like, why are you here? You gotta. What's this drunken public you had at East Carolina University? What the hell's going on here? I'm just trying to enter your country, have a good time. Right. Go out to Rumors and check out the Bet Detective. Also check out the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, which is going to be doing an episode later today talking about the NFL draft. Also check out the Old Fashioned Football podcast as J Mark's doing NFL. He's already done a bunch of NFL draft stuff. I was on one episode talking NFL draft, so go check that out. At the Old Fashioned Football podcast, where they mix booze with football. What's not to like? J Mark's on Twitter at J Mark Football, I believe, right? J Mark Football. Yep. CJ's on Twitter at CJ Sullivan _. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. Check out the college football experience, FCS college football experience, CFL Gambling Podcast, on and on and on. But look, check out the Sports Gambling Podcast too, as they continue their coverage of everything. Until next time, folks, this is the UFL Gambling Podcast, and you better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.